If you're struggling with sugar cravings or you don't know the dangers of excessive sugar consumption, then today's video is for you. Sugar is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to unhealthy eating habits and a significant contributor to disease. A recent study was published in the British Medical Journal about the dangers of excessive sugar intake and the correlations between sugar consumption and health. It's not new information that sugar is more harmful than helpful, but the unique purpose of this study was to analyze the data from all studies that have been conducted to draw clearer, evidence-backed conclusions on the detrimental effects of sugar so that sugar reduction policies can be developed and dietary guidelines can be adjusted. So the researchers analyzed 8,601 unique articles that included meta-analyses, clinical trials, and observational studies. They developed a grading system to review the evidence, and in short, while more studies are needed to be conducted, what's conclusive is that sugar consumption is harmfully associated with a large number of health conditions, from weight gain, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, we know, and cholesterol levels, to different types of cancers, heart attack, hypertension, asthma, cavities, ADHD, and depression. Sugar consumption hurts way more than it helps. But let's define sugar because it's important to note that not all sugar is created equal. There are three main types of sugar: polyols like sorbitol and erythritol. These are sugar alcohol molecules found in some fruits, vegetables, and they're often added to food items labeled sugar-free. Then there's free sugars, which are monosaccharides and disaccharides. This is just the molecular classification of these different sugars. These are added to foods by the manufacturer, by the cook, by yourself, the consumer. Free sugars also include the sugars naturally present in honey, syrups, and fruit juices. And lastly, there's added sugar. All monosaccharides and disaccharides used in processed and prepared foods and drinks, sugars added to foods but not naturally occurring sugars such as in fruits and fruit juices. Examples of added sugars can include like high fructose corn syrup, brown sugar, molasses, cane juice. From my understanding, you can eat as much whole fruit as you like, and it would not have the detrimental effects on your health because fruits have many other nutrients and protective constituents like antioxidants, different vitamins, and flavonoids, etc. It's the free sugar and the added sugar that you need to be most careful about and reduce. And yes, that even includes honey, agave, and maple syrup. The World Health Organization currently recommends that we consume no more than 10% of our energy percent in added sugar, and ideally less than 5%. So let's say you consume a 2,000 calorie per day diet, then you should consume no more than 50 grams of sugar per day, ideally no more than 25 grams. These amounts would be lower for children and adolescents. This study recommends reducing the consumption of free and added sugars to below the 25 grams per day, which is approximately 6 teaspoons, and limiting the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages to less than 1 serving per week. That's like 200 to 355 milliliters. But like, how much sugar is that really? Let's take a look. This is what 25 grams of sugar looks like. We should be striving to consume less than this amount per day. This is the serving amount of one sugary drink. You should be striving to drink less than like 1 can of soda a week. Now, we already know for some of y'all this is going to be hard. There are some folks, though, who might be thinking, well, I'm doing great. I don't drink soda and I don't eat dessert. But the food industry is sneaky, and I'll bet that if you don't read ingredient labels, you're consuming way more free and added sugar than you realize. Let's look at how quickly this can add up. Let's say you start your day with a grande latte from Starbucks. That's 18 grams of sugar. We're not off to a good start. Then we have yogurt and granola for breakfast. Yogurt is hella deceiving. Even organic vanilla can have 8 grams of added sugar. Add a little granola, that's another 11 grams of added sugar. Let's say we have a sandwich and chips for lunch, 2 slices of bread, that's another 8 grams. Barbecue chicken and salad for dinner, another 8 grams from the barbecue sauce. That's a grand total of 53 grams. I didn't even include any snacks that you might be munching on while watching TV or at work. Now, if you have a sweet tooth and you like your dessert or your soda or your sugary drink, let's add that. That little scoop of Chunky Monkey, Ben & Jerry's, 32 grams of sugar. And a Sprite, 38 grams of sugar. Now our total is 123 grams of sugar in one day. I really hope you see how quickly this can add up if you're not mindful of what you're consuming. And I think this is normal consumption for a lot of people. And if you eat more packaged foods, fast food, prepared food, and restaurant food, well, it's time to make some serious changes. Now, I know that cutting back on sugar can be a challenge, especially if you're used to consuming a lot of sweet foods and drinks, but there are some simple swaps you can make to reduce your sugar intake without sacrificing flavor, but you are going to have to adjust your palate, okay? For example, you could try swapping out sugary breakfast cereals for unsweetened oatmeal and fresh fruit, plain or Greek yogurt instead of flavored, or swapping out soda for sparkling water and infusing it with fruits like a slice of lemon, lime, strawberries. You can make your own salad dressings with olive oil, vinegar, and herbs, and you can choose condiments with less added sugar. We recently found a sugar-free barbecue sauce that's like savory and spicy. It's really delicious. And please don't be fooled by sugar-free labels, because those often contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which has been linked to increasing your risk of cancer, neurological problems, weight gain because it increases your sugar cravings so you overeat, metabolic disease, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. And don't be fooled by erythritol or the latest FDA-approved sugar substitute, allulose. While there is still a lot of debate in the present research of if these sugar substitutes are beneficial or detrimental, my personal choice is to refrain, wait, and see. We, the population that is, we're always the test subjects for new ingredients, so it can take years for a product to be on the market long enough for us to clearly see any detrimental effects. I personally, because I don't have diabetes, I don't consume a lot of sugar, and even plan on cutting back on what I do consume, would rather use honey, agave, maple syrup, unaltered sugar, or dates as sweeteners than any ingredient that's been naturally derived but chemically altered. Of course, reducing your sugar intake is easier than said than done. Sugar is addictive, and many folks crave sweet foods and drinks on a regular basis. Sugar intake changes your gut microbiome, which directly impacts not only your immunity, but also your brain chemistry. As you gradually reduce your sugar consumption, before you reach for that sweet treat, pause and consider other ways you can bring sweetness and pleasure into your life. How can you self-soothe without reaching for food? Here are 3 tips to help you reduce your sugar cravings. Number 1, eat more protein. Protein helps to keep you feeling full and satisfied, which can reduce your cravings of sugary foods. Try incorporating more protein-rich foods into your meals like eggs, lean meat, beans, and nuts. Number 2, get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can disrupt your hormones, increase your cravings for sugar and other unhealthy foods. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to help you regulate your appetite and reduce sugar cravings. Number 3, manage your stress. Stress can also increase your sugar cravings, as many people turn to sweets as a way to cope. Chronic stress can lead to prediabetes too, due to prolonged release of cortisol and epinephrine, which raise glucose levels in different ways. Try to find other ways to manage your stress, like practicing yoga or meditation, going for a walk, journaling, getting things off of your plate, decluttering, talking to a trusted friend, taking a bath. And in addition to reducing your sugar cravings, there are also some practical steps you can take to reduce your overall sugar intake. Here are 3 simple strategies. Number 1, you have to read labels. Start paying attention to the labels on your food and drinks. Look for added sugars on the ingredient list and choose the product with lower sugar. But watch out for those artificial sweeteners. Number 2, choose whole foods. Instead of reaching for processed snacks and drinks, try to choose whole food like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, foods that are just naturally lower in sugar and higher in fiber and nutrients. When we're feeling peckish, we usually reach for popcorn. And then number 3, cook at home. Cooking at home gives you more control over what goes into your meals and can help you avoid the added sugars often found in restaurant meals and packaged foods. And number 4, don't bring the sweet treats into the house. If they're not there, they won't be as easy to reach for. Put some friction and some distance between you and the sweets. Let us know in the comments, what's one way you plan to reduce your sugar intake this week? Here are 2 herbs that you can use right now to curb your sugar cravings. Number 1, Gymnema, also called the sugar destroyer. Gymnema is well known and well researched for its ability to reduce sugar cravings and help regulate blood sugar levels by increasing insulin production. You can take it as a supplement or you can drink it as a tea. And then number 2, cinnamon. Cinnamon also regulates blood sugar levels, reduces sugar cravings. It's delicious. You can sprinkle on your oatmeal, add it to coffee, take it as a supplement. Also, we have our blood sugar baby capsules on our website, which support healthy glucose levels, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. They reduce sugar cravings, stimulate glucose metabolism, and promote insulin production. They also help your heart, your liver, your digestion. So check out the code in the caption to receive a special YouTube subscriber discount. So there you have it, some valuable insights from the latest research on sugar, as well as some practical tips to help you reduce your sugar cravings and intake. Remember, reducing your sugar intake doesn't have to mean sacrificing flavor or enjoyment. By making simple swaps and incorporating more whole foods into your diet, managing your stress, and self-soothing instead of reaching for that sweet treat, you can feel better and improve your overall health and significantly reduce your risk of getting an unwanted disease. Too many of us are suffering and dying from conditions that are preventable and reversible. And if you need a little extra help, I'm here for an herbal consultation where I can develop a custom plan for you. The info on herbal consultations is also in the caption. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified next time we release a video.